finally an actual hacking story. Jon's going to tell us about it on this Not So Critical update.
Thanks, Mike. So it is an actual hack. We don't know much yet, as far as I can tell, but basically, this guy was hacked. His AWS account was hacked, and the attackers put Monero miners on the instances on the virtual servers in AWS. And Monero is a cryptocurrency that utilizes CPUs to mine the cryptocurrency. And basically, the attackers accrued a $45,000 bill on his AWS account for $800 worth of Monero. So all that computing power that they used, basically, that's how much it cost versus the reward that they got from this.
It cost the owner of the account, not the hacker.
The owner of the account. It's supposed to, right? Like, basically, this is how much it was worth for retail prices, if you will, or enterprise prices, whatever. Obviously, the article is a little bit misleading, because what it's saying is like, yeah, they're saying like, oh, they only made away, they only got away with $800. But really, what's going on here is this is just one that was noticed, or maybe there's a misconfiguration, because they usually don't want these miners to be noticed. They want them to hum along in a scale of 10, 20,000 breached instances, right? Breached accounts. They don't want to spend or be noticed, basically, is what I'm saying. These attackers want to kind of sleep on the system, utilizing, let's say, 10 to 20% of the system, and not $45,000 worth of AWS resources.
Does it say anything?
Go ahead.
Does it say anything about how inefficient it is to mine for crypto, that it cost $45,000 to generate $800 worth of?
No, guys, neither of you have like, the key thing for me here is how overpriced AWS is.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Right.
That's all. Like, how much did it cost Amazon in actual raw resources? What's the price?
The question, so a couple of questions that we don't have answered is, how long were the miners running for? That's one. We can do some soft math and figure out how much a run-of-the-mill, i7, top of the line i7 would produce in terms of hashing power, in terms of how much it could produce of the cryptocurrency Monero. But really, what we should be looking at here is the fact that AWS charged $45,000 for a few CPUs to run at max. Obviously, this guy most likely had like one of the lower tier, similar to a pay-as-you-go type of subscription where you pay what you use, and it scales very inefficiently if you don't reserve resources. But still, it is interesting. Yeah, Mike, you were going to say?
Well, so that's to say the hacker didn't piggyback on a server that was already optimized for crypto mining. He got into some random, I just set up a desktop because I want to test some application server that is not optimized for performance. It is expensive because I don't expect to have it running 24 hours a day. This guy figured out a way to keep it running so that he could mine for crypto.
Yes, exactly. And AWS also scales both vertically and horizontally. So what that means is, if I want to slam this instance, this virtual private server or this virtual server with resources, if I have an administrative privileges on the AWS account, I'm able to say I want this instance to actually utilize the most expensive hardware that you have to offer. Or even like 10 of them, right? And for as long as you don't have any monitoring or alerting set up, then this happens. And for all we know, this poor guy, Johnny Platt, like he might have had all of that in place, and this could have happened overnight. I don't know. We don't know.
But here
it doesn't
again,
actually say.
Almost certainly it must have been a password compromise.
It could have been a few things. It could have been password. It could have been a private SSH key leak, as you can connect to the AWS CLI console. There's plenty of things.
He could have been running an insecure Java logging package.
Correct. Yes, right on his Apache server. Yeah,
right.
That's true. There's many things. However they breached him, we'll probably not know. Just because this guy doesn't seem like he's, I don't think he's very interested to know how they got in. He's probably more interested in having Amazon refund him $45,000, which they most likely will.
Yeah, they'll probably refund him.
It's like when kids would like run up bills on their parents' phones downloading
Candy Crush bullshit, right? Yeah.
But the thing is that this is Amazon's business practice, right? So what they're doing is they're charging people extortionate amounts of money on a tiny scale, a lot. And it's only because when it went runaway that it was a big deal, like Jon was saying. It's only because it got noticed that
but you pay more for things when you buy them in small quantities. Why is that controversial? Because there's reasons for paying more when you have more packaging and more labor and more shipping and whatever for each individual item. When it comes to a computer, a CPU that's running, there's not as much justification for that kind of massive like scale discrepancy. What kind of a socialist are you?
You know
Amazon is a business, right? Like they make money from selling this stuff. Your alternative is to go buy a computer. You could do that.
I'm not going to do that.
It's our computer now.
It's our the network is the
correct, comrade.
Yeah.
Sure. No. But $45,000 for running a computer for a few hours. Like, there's no excuse for that unless it was like a Cray or something that was just, I don't know. If it looks like a big purple Cray with like a red LED that was sort of going like really, really cool. Like that. I'd maybe pay $45,000 for that, but
there should be some monitoring on it, though. If you, maybe somebody spins one of these up and uses it that way.
Or
it feels like this would be suspicious behavior, though.
I don't think you heard. So I was saying, like, you can definitely enable alerting and monitoring, and it will cost you money. Yeah. So it's going to cost you to protect you from threats. But I imagine you can I take that back. You know what? I take that back. You can definitely set up on that same instance. You can set up alerting and monitoring that for free. There's 100% tools out there that could do this for you free of charge on the same instance. And it could even do things like webhook into,
except those
into
things
Slack.
Cost CPU to run as well. So it's
right. Sure. But if it's a couple percent CPU usage to sleep at night, to plug into like a PagerDuty type situation where you will be notified if a spike occurs. Doesn't seem like the guy did that. It seems like he
he probably didn't
do anything. Even like if it's not a technical solution, just from a billing standpoint, I guess you'd hope there's some kind of like maximum amount, right? If I buy Facebook ads, I set my maximum limit. If something goes crazy, I know it's not going to break that.
What if that's what he really wanted, though? Maybe that's what he really... Maybe he had an urgent need for a small scale instance to be running.
Then he could set that. He can set that limit to be whatever he wants to be. I'm just saying, like, it doesn't seem unreasonable that if you're buying something like that, maybe you could be able to set a threshold.
No, I think that's actually, of course, I completely agree. But
I'm going to change my position now.
That sarcasm just went over your head. I just was not being serious at all. Of course, it's not what he wants.
No, I imagine that.
Don't reply to my sarcastic questions seriously, okay? That's not fair.
So my original question was, What does this say about the inefficiency of crypto mining?
Not
Nothing.
much. Nothing.
No, nothing.
This is
Yeah.
not you're saying why can't you're basically what you're saying right now is why can't my like Duo, Pentium Duo, whatever, run like the newest, I don't know, Cyberpunk or whatever really demanding game in 60 FPS 4K. That's what you're saying. You're saying why can't my PlayStation 1 play the newest Call of Duty? That's what you're saying. Why is it so inefficient? Because you know why? Don't
You know what? When you said that, so my first computer that I bought was a Sony Vaio, and I remember it was a 200 megahertz.
Oh yeah,
with MMX technology.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was like
MMX.
a big selling point from the guy at like, I don't know, it must have been like a Circuit City or something.
Right.
I paid
Multimedia extension.
$3,200 for that computer.
How old are you? I'm just kidding.
It was crazy. I walked in, I was like, and they just upsold me and upsold me and upsold me. And I was just like, yes, I need the best computer you have in this store now. Get it in my car.
And then you
I
One
had the
thing hasn't
best
changed in the
AOL
last
access at that
50 years
time.
or however old you are.
you had the best what?
Access to AOL.
Oh wow.
Put my AOL CD
that's-
in. Could get on the
that is-
internet.
Yeah, how many minutes? Yeah, 3,000 minutes on AOL.
It was
I-
amazing.
that- the whole AOL wall garden is just.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. I didn't understand when I truly didn't understand when I went to America the first time as a child, and I saw these AOL discs. They were
Yeah.
everywhere. And
Why?
well, no, because we had DSL. Like we didn't.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
We had dial up and then ADSL. And I go over to America and it's like, wait, how do you access the internet? Oh, we go on AOL.
Yeah. I used to think, hang on, isn't this like the internet, but just not as good?
I was totally on the other side because I remember when I realized, oh my God, the internet is actually bigger than AOL.
Yeah, that exists.
You mean like I can go outside of AOL and there's more stuff?
Free web.
That's amazing.
We in Europe, we were using MSN Messenger, Microsoft, and you guys were using AOL Messenger. And I was like, when I went over there, I was like, what the fuck is AOL? What's your MSN?
Yeah.
Message me there and talk on the,
Nice.
on Skype.
And ICQ, that was my first messenger.
Oh, ICQ,
Right.
yeah.
Technically, the first messenger I used was a thing called a talker, which is like a MUD, if you've ever used one of those, where you turn it into a remote environment, a text environment, and you chat to people. And a MUD, you're like playing a game.
Mm-hmm.
You move different rooms and you fight monsters and whatever. But a talker is like that, but you just
Chill
talk.
in a room.
Yeah,
I am a bit young for this, but I know what you're talking about because of the show *Halt and Catch Fire*.
Oh,
Yes.
I love that show.
Love that show.
amazingly accurate.
Yeah, they did a really good job, and obviously they touch on the whole virtual rooms. They just hang out. They don't even play the game.
Right.
Yeah. So back to poor Johnny Platt.
Who cares?
I guess we'll see. I don't know if we're even gonna, I don't know if we're gonna touch back on him, but
Mike, you included this story. Fuck's sake.
I thought it was going to be a fun hacking story. It's just some password compromise or whatever. This guy didn't have a secure instance.
For all we
Somebody
know, it was a
got on
guy
there.
with a hood. You don't know.
That's true. I didn't think of that.
My takeaway is, holy shit, is that what AWS costs? I would love to know how much it cost them in raw compute, like raw actual resources.
Yeah, resources
like
for sure. But actually, oh, you know what? I'm going to do a little bit of soft math. I'll loop back.
Cost plus. So by that logic, Peter, we need to calculate what your actual cost of living is so we can figure out what percentage above that your payroll should be.
What?
What's the actual cost? Cost plus pricing. What does it actually cost you to survive? And then we should pay you a small percentage above that. That's what you're saying it was AWS to do. What's it actually cost you to build this server? And then I'll just pay you some percentage that I think is acceptable above that.
Well, let's say we come to a compromise and you give me enough to buy a new computer every couple of years and use the internet and buy an Oculus. And yeah, I'd probably be happy with that. If you guaranteed it for the rest of my life.
Damn.
That was
Just
feels
plug
like an
right
easy
in,
sell.
huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Just plug me in straight to the neck.
I mean, if I can live and eat and maybe like if I had kids provide for my family or whatever, then
they're also
you
on the
are a
plan.
socialist, is what you're saying.
This is, I feel like, a little bit beyond socialism.
Is it?
I don't even think Marx touched on this. This is like new age. I don't even know what to call it. Peter.
what's wrong with
I know Peter's like,
what
yeah,
was
make
it-
me comfortable. I'm in.
Right. That's thank you for summarizing my.
That's
I'm
it.
honestly surprised you're saying all of this and you still haven't read Mana or Mana, however you want to pronounce it. It's shocking. It's unbelievable. It's so short. Like it's so short. It's so to
I'll
the point.
probably agree with
Mike
you
read it.
after I've read it.
Mike read it the same week I recommended it, and it's not like it's like, hey, you should go read Dune.
He does this on
good.
purpose.
It's like about the.
He does it on purpose. Don't bother giving Peter a recommendation. He's never going to.
I'm
honestly,
a busy guy. Time is money, guys. You know this.
Which is why you waste time sitting here talking to us.
Yeah, for sure. Burn 2 hours every week.
Okay, tell you what. Let's schedule another 2 hours so you can read it to me. I'll do that.
I'll record it. You know when I'm going to do it? When I'm back home and I have my good mic. We'll do some ASMR. We'll do some ASMR late night readings.
I might join for
Sexy
that.
DJ.
We should probably live stream that.
That should actually be live streamed for sure.
Yeah.
I'll set some candles. I'll set some candles up, dim the lights, and just move between the left, the right of the mic. All right. That's it. That's enough.
Next time you promise me hacking, I want hacking. That's all I have to say.
All right, you got it.
Sorry, Johnny. Sorry.